this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to install Tailwind in a fresh Create React app project. If you want to learn more about what Tailwind is, you can go to tailwindcss.com, read the docs, check it out. It's basically a set of utility CSS classes to help you just build websites faster and not have to make so much of your own CSS. So the code for this is going to be in this repo here, how to install Tailwind in React source code. And I have that cloned already down here, and I'm in the folder. So you can see all I have are these two files. And we're going to scaffold out a fresh Create React app project. And I'm just going to call the folder that we're going to put it in TW app, Tailwind app. You can call it whatever you want. And just going to wait a second for this to finish. Okay, so it took longer than a second in real life, but I skipped ahead and we have our folder here, so let's go into it. And now I'm going to create the Tailwind config file, so we can just use npx again to call this Tailwind CLI, and we're just going to call it init. And --full gives us a Tailwind config file that has some CSS, a lot of CSS in it already. So, sorry, this is Tailwind CSS. If you see Tailwind, that's what it used to be called, but now it's Tailwind CSS. So, okay. So now I'm going to go into this project. So I have a little VS Code editor open in the repo folder. So here's the project. And in the project, I'm going to create a new file. I'm going to call this post CSS config.js. Okay, so in here, I'm going to require something in here that I didn't add yet. So we need to add a few things. Tailwind CSS, post CSS CLI also, and then auto prefixer. And we're going to do -D to make these all dev dependencies. And so if we come up here, I can start typing this out. And I'm just going to make a constant called this Tailwind CSS. And we're going to require this library, Tailwind CSS. Oops. And then I'm just going to say module.exports is just an object plugins, and this Tailwind CSS constant we created is actually a function, and we're going to pass it the name of our Tailwind config file. So you notice that running this Tailwind init script created this Tailwind config file, and we have lots of styles to use now that we didn't have to create ourselves. The creators of Tailwind thought a lot about these styles to make them sort of powerful and not limiting. So check them out. I'm not going to go through them right here, but we are going to put this Tailwind config file in here. And then we also need to add the auto prefixer or prefixer. Okay. And so that's all we really need right now. Just keep it simple. And so now we're going to create a folder called Styles. Tailwind really kind of likes if you name this folder Styles. So you should do that. And then we'll create a file called Tailwind CSS. And in here, I'm going to put some, this is kind of post CSS syntax, and we're just importing the different things from Tailwind. So we're going to import base, we're going to import component, and we're going to import utilities. Okay. So now that we have that, we want to actually compile this Tailwind into some styles that we can use. So let's go back to our package.json, and I'm going to change these scripts a little bit. I'm just going to create one called Tailwind build, and this will call Tailwind build. We're going to pass it our Tailwind file that we created in this styles folder, and then the -o is the file that we want it to output. So we're going to make that source styles app CSS. Just going to call it app CSS. And now I'll do npm run Tailwind build before we create the run the dev server. And I'll also do this here. You can set this up in watch mode and do fancy things later, but this is just to get it working, keep it simple for now. So let's just run npm start and see what happens. So if you notice something in this, so it's running over in this browser, it's working fine. If you notice, this file app CSS was generated here in styles, and we actually want to import that in app.css here, and this is /styles. Okay, so now just to see if this is working, this is still just the basic vanilla React scaffold. So let's add some class names. I didn't create any classes anywhere, so these are just from Tailwind. So we're going to do text 6XL, and right there you can see the text change size. So Tailwind is loaded in and it's working. You can even say text gray 500, and you can see the text turns gray. And so this importing of the styles you only need to do one time, right? I can make maybe just a folder components, and I'll just make a component called child, and then we just need to import React from React, and then I can just export a simple function component, and let's not even do anything here. We can just return maybe a div, and here will just create an H2 saying I'm the child. And so we created this component, but we need to actually use it in app. So let's put it here. I'll import it from component/child. And you can see there's some text here. I'm the child. And we can see that if I also give this some of the Tailwind classes, then they apply to this one as well. So that was a quick little demo of installing Tailwind CSS in a React project. Hope you like it and watch more videos. Thanks. See ya.